Stop. Right now. Stop whatever you are doing. I don't care if you're lying in bed at 2 a.m. staring at the ceiling. I don't care if you're sitting in your car in a parking lot trying to hold yourself together. I don't care if you opened this video with one earbud in, while the rest of the world around you kept moving like nothing was wrong. I don't care if you're at work right now, pretending to be focused on a screen while your mind is somewhere else entirely, replaying things, processing things, carrying things that nobody sitting next to you even knows about. I don't care if you are surrounded by a room full of people right now and still feel completely and utterly alone inside, like there is a glass wall between you and everyone else, and no matter how loud the room gets, you cannot feel the warmth of it. I don't care where you are or what you were doing 30 seconds ago, because right now, in this moment, none of that matters anymore. What matters is that you are here, and you need to understand this with every single part of you. You did not find this video. This video found you. The algorithm did not bring you here. Your curiosity did not bring you here. A random scroll through your feed did not bring you here. Something far more ancient, far more intentional, far more powerful than any piece of technology that has ever been built. Something that was moving and working and orchestrating things long before the internet existed, long before phones existed, long before any of this, brought you here, right now, to this exact moment. And that same force has a message for you today that is so specific, so precise, so deeply personal, that by the time this video is over, you are going to know beyond any shadow of doubt that God has not forgotten you, that He has been watching, that He has been working, that even in the moments when heaven felt completely silent, when your prayers felt like they were hitting a wall and bouncing back, when your faith was down to almost nothing, He was there, right there, closer than you realized. And He has a word for you today that you have been waiting to hear. You are a chosen one. And today is your divine appointment. Type the word chosen in the comments right now, not in a minute, not after the video, right now, as an act of faith, as a declaration over your own life, as a statement that you know who you are regardless of what your circumstances look like. Type it and mean every letter of it. Now I want to ask you something, and I need you to be completely honest with yourself as I ask. Not honest with me, not honest with anyone else who might be watching, just deeply, quietly honest with yourself. In the last 72 hours, how have you actually been doing? Not the answer you give people when they ask out of politeness. Not the "I'm fine" or the "I'm good" or the smile you paste on your face in public so that nobody worries about you and nobody asks follow-up questions you don't have the energy to answer. Not the performed version of you, the real one. The answer you only admit to yourself late at night when the room is completely quiet and there is no one left to keep it together for. Have you felt a heaviness in the last 3 days that you just could not explain or locate or shake? Like something pressing down on you from the inside, not physical pain exactly, but weight. A weight that was sitting on you when you woke up in the morning and was still sitting there when you tried to fall asleep at night. Like no matter how much you rested, no matter how many distractions you reached for, no matter how many things you tried to stay busy with, the weight was still there underneath all of it, quiet and persistent. Have you been waking up in the middle of the night, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 3:33 in the morning, eyes opening suddenly like something called your name, heart moving a little faster than it should be for someone who was just asleep, mind beginning to race, thoughts coming before you even had a chance to choose them, and then lying there in the dark for an hour, 2 hours, unable to get back to sleep, unable to silence what is moving inside of you, waiting for a peace that will not come. Have you been replaying things, old conversations, words that were said to you that you wish you could unhear and cannot, words you said that you cannot take back and cannot stop thinking about, moments where you gave everything you had every bit of your effort, your trust, your hope, your love. And it still was not enough to change the outcome. Relationships that ended and left you alone with the wreckage of 100 questions, wondering where you went wrong, or worse, knowing exactly what went wrong and feeling completely powerless to go back and fix it. Promises that were made to you by people you believed in, and broken so casually, it made you wonder if you ever actually knew them at all. Have you been feeling overlooked? Like you show up, you give, you pour yourself out, you do the work, and somehow the recognition goes somewhere else. Like you are the dependable one, the strong one, the one everybody runs to when they are falling apart. But when you are the one who needs someone, when you are the one who is quietly barely holding it together, everyone seems unavailable. Like you have been sitting in a room full of people who love you and still felt completely unseen. Have you been quietly questioning whether any of it is actually going to change? Looking at your life from the outside and trying to understand why it seems like everyone around you is advancing, getting the relationship, getting the opportunity, stepping into the thing they were waiting for, while you feel like you are standing in the same spot you were standing in a year ago, praying the same prayers, believing for the same breakthrough, carrying the same hope that is starting to get heavy from being held for so long without arriving. And underneath all of that, underneath the weight and the sleepless nights and the replaying and the exhaustion and the quiet questions, has there been a voice? A small one, a persistent one, a voice that whispers things like, maybe this is just who you are. Maybe the life you imagined is not actually available to someone like you. Maybe you asked for too much. Maybe you believed for too long. Maybe you are too damaged, too late, too far behind, too broken. And the best you can realistically hope for is to manage what you have, not actually step into what you dreamed about. If any of that hit, if even one thing I said reached into something true inside of you, then receive this with everything you have. That is not the truth about your life. That is warfare. That is the voice of something that knows exactly who you are and is working overtime to make sure you never fully walk into it. And warfare, real warfare, only gets deployed against people who are genuinely worth fighting over. Type 72 in the comments right now if the last 3 days have been heavy. I want to see you. I want somebody else watching this video to see you and know they are not alone. Because isolation is one of the enemy's most effective weapons, and the moment you realize someone else is carrying what you are carrying, that weapon loses its power. Now let me tell you who you actually are. Not what your history says about you, not what your failures say, not what the people who left said, not what the voice at 3 in the morning says. Let me tell you what was decided about you before any of those voices existed. What God declared over your life before you ever arrived to hear it. Jeremiah 1, verse 5. And I need you to let this get past your mind, because your mind is going to try to redirect it, categorize it, file it away as something that applies to someone else. Let it get into your spirit. Let it sit somewhere deeper than your thoughts. God said, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I sanctified you. I ordained you before you were formed." Not after you performed, not after you proved yourself, not after you cleaned yourself up or figured yourself out or stopped making the mistakes you keep making. Before any of that. Before you had a name, before anyone who would ever shape or wound or define or limit you had any access to you, God already knew you. He already called you holy. He already set a specific purpose in motion that was designed around the unique thing He placed inside of you and nobody else. You were not an accident. You were not born into the wrong family or the wrong city or the wrong generation. You were not a plan B. You were not an afterthought. You were the plan. The original plan. The first choice. And the God who spoke entire galaxies into existence, who created light and water and mountains and human beings out of absolutely nothing, looked at the full timeline of human history and said, I need this person right here, right now, in this specific moment of this generation, for this specific assignment that only they can carry. Because what I placed inside of them cannot be replicated, cannot be duplicated, cannot be replaced. That is the truth about who you are. And the enemy has known it from the beginning, which is exactly, precisely, why your life has been under the kind of consistent, layered, relentless attack that it has been. Because the enemy does not deploy his heaviest weapons against people who do not matter. He does not invest sustained effort against people who do not carry something that threatens his kingdom. The intensity and the duration of the warfare in your life is not evidence that God forgot about you. It is evidence. It is actually proof that you are carrying something the enemy cannot afford to let you discover and walk into. You have not been under attack because you are weak. You have been under attack because you are a threat. And somewhere underneath all the doubt and all the exhaustion and all the questions, some part of you already knows this. That part is the reason you are still here, still watching, still believing, even barely, still refusing to fully let go of the thing God put inside you. Type, I am chosen in the comments right now, out loud. Say it as you type it. Your declaration is not arrogance, it is agreement. You are bringing your voice into agreement with what God said about you long before anyone else got to say anything. Now I want to address the silence, because I know for many of you, it is the silence that has been the most confusing, the most painful part of this season. Not just the attack itself, but the feeling that you cried out and nothing came back. That you prayed and the ceiling held. That you did everything right, believed, fasted, confessed, worshipped, waited, and still nothing visibly moved. And over time, that silence began to feel like something personal. Like maybe God hears other people, but not you specifically. Like maybe your prayers travel a shorter distance. Like maybe there is something about you that puts you in a different category. The category of people he watches, but does not answer. I need you to hear me when I say, that silence was not rejection. That silence was the most intentional, most precisely designed, most deeply loving thing God could have done in that season of your life. Think about what happens before the most important surgery of someone's life. Everything slows down. The surgeon goes quiet. The team becomes deliberate, careful, focused. Not because nothing is happening, but because what is happening is too important to rush, too delicate to interrupt, too significant to be careless with. From outside that operating room door, it looks like stillness, but inside, everything is being changed. That is what the silence in your life has been. God did not step back. God stepped in, closer than he has ever been, to do the most careful, most precise, most consequential work he has ever done in you. He has been removing things that looked healthy from the outside, but were carrying infection toward your future. He has been redirecting paths that seemed logical but led nowhere you were meant to go. He has been doing surgery on the places inside of you, the places of fear, of unworthiness, of agreement with lies you picked up along the way, because those places would have collapsed under the weight of what he is about to give you. The silence was the operating room. And you do not wake someone up in the middle of surgery just to reassure them that the surgery is going well. Romans chapter 8, verse 28. All things work together for good to those who love God, to those who are called according to his purpose. Not some things, not the comfortable things, not the things that made sense in the moment. All things. The loss, all things. The betrayal, all things. The silence, all things. The night you lay in the dark, wondering if God was even real, all things. Every single piece of it, being held in the hands of a God who wastes nothing, woven together into something that is going to be so clearly, so undeniably, so overwhelmingly good, that when you finally see it, you will not be able to be angry about the process. You will just be in awe of the God who turned all of it into that. If something just shifted in you, type "He's working" in the comments right now. Somebody else is going to read your comment tonight and find the faith to keep going. I want to speak to the ones who lost people, because I know that is an open wound for some of you. A friendship that evaporated, a relationship you poured years of your life into that collapsed, a family member who chose distance, someone who knew all of you, the real you, the ugly and the beautiful and the complicated, and walked away anyway. And maybe you have been sitting with the story that their leaving proved something about you, that you are too much to stay with, that you are not enough to fight for, that the people you love always eventually find a reason to go. Here is what I need you to hear. Not everyone God placed in your story was authorized to go with you into every chapter of it. Some people you loved genuinely and deeply, people the connection was absolutely real with, were assigned to a season. They were given to you for what that season required. But they were never written into the chapters that are still ahead. And God, who loves you far too much to let the wrong people have access to the most powerful version of you, allowed them to leave. Not as punishment, as protection. Because what is coming in your next chapter required the space that their presence was filling. The people who walked away were not taken from you. They were moved so that what is coming for you has somewhere to land. Every loss made room. Every closed door was a guard. Every goodbye was God saying, "Not that way, this way." Type "Every closed door was protection" in the comments. Receive it. Let it begin to bring healing to a place that has been hurting longer than it should have been. Now hear what is coming. On the other side of this season, if you do not give up, if you stay, if you keep walking even when you cannot see the destination, there is a door with your name already carved into the frame, with your fingerprints already on the handle, a door that was built at the foundation of the world and has been waiting at the end of this exact journey for you to finally arrive at it. A door that no enemy, no critic, no person who underestimated you, no circumstance in the natural world has any authority whatsoever to keep closed. God is about to move in your life in a way you cannot manufacture, cannot engineer, cannot make happen through your own effort or strategy or timing. It is going to come from a direction you were not watching, through a door you did not expect, at a moment you had probably stopped holding your breath for. And it is going to be so undeniably God, so clearly beyond what you could have arranged for yourself, that you are going to stand in the middle of it with your mouth open. But you have to still be standing when it arrives. You have to keep walking when your legs are shaking. Keep speaking when your voice is not steady. Keep showing up for your purpose, for your calling, for the people who need what only you carry, even in the moments when everything inside of you wants to disappear and let someone else deal with it. Type "I will not quit" in the comments right now. Say it as a covenant, not just words, a decision. Receive this decree over your life right now. In the name above every other name, I declare, the season of being overlooked is finished. The season of silence and confusion is ending. The season of carrying what you were never meant to carry alone, it is over. What was taken from you is being returned with overflow. What was broken is being rebuilt with a strength it never had before. Who walked away is being replaced with people who were specifically assigned to the next chapter of your story. The door that stayed closed through all of your knocking, it is opening, and nothing in heaven, on earth, or beneath the earth has any power to stop what God has already set his name to in your life. You came into this video carrying something. That weight is being broken right now. You came in with a question. The answer is already in motion toward you. You came in wondering if you are still seen. You are. You always have been. Right now, he is saying to you, I have not changed my mind. I have not forgotten. The plan is still intact. Get ready. Type, "I receive this decree" in the comments right now. This is your moment. Receive it fully. Before you leave, subscribe to this channel right now if you have not already. Every single week there is a word released here that is made specifically for chosen ones exactly like you. You did not stumble onto this channel. Hit subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you never miss what was meant for you. Share this video with one person right now. You already know exactly who came to mind. Send it. Be the reason their faith gets restored today. And leave your testimony in the comments. Tell me what God has brought you through. Tell me what shifted inside of you during this video. Because your words are going to be someone else's reason to hold on tonight. This is Chosen Ultimate. You are seen. You are loved. You are not too late. You are not forgotten. And the very best of your story, I promise you, is still ahead. I will see you in the next video. I want to slow down here and talk about something that nobody else is going to tell you. Because most people will give you encouragement without giving you the full truth. And I believe you are ready for the full truth. The reason this season has felt so disorienting, the reason the silence has been so loud, the reason the waiting has felt so endless, is not because God is slow. It is because what God is building in you requires a depth of foundation that most people never get to develop. Most people receive a smaller version of their calling because they rushed out of the preparation. They got tired of the process and pushed the door open before God was ready to open it from the other side. And what they built on the outside looked impressive for a moment, but it did not last, because the inside was not yet strong enough to hold it. God is doing something different with you. He is taking longer because what He has planned for you is bigger. He is being more careful because the weight of what He is about to place on your life requires a foundation that does not crack under pressure. He is asking you to wait not because you did something wrong, but because He refuses to let you carry something you are not yet fully built to steward. This is not punishment. This is trust. God trusts you with the process of becoming because He knows who you are going to be on the other side of it. Type, "I trust the process" in the comments right now and mean it. Say it even if it is hard to say right now. Say it especially if it is hard. There is one more thing I want you to hear before we close this out. And this might be the most important thing in this entire video. I want to talk about the version of you that is on the other side of this season. There is a you that exists past this chapter. A version of you that has walked through this valley and come out on the other side with something that cannot be taught, cannot be bought, cannot be learned in any classroom, or copied from anyone else's journey. A version of you that carries a depth of compassion for hurting people that only comes from having hurt yourself. A version of you that carries a level of faith that cannot be shaken because it was tested in the fire and did not break. A version of you that walks into rooms and changes the atmosphere simply by being present, because the God who lives inside of you has been given more and more of the space that fear and doubt used to occupy. That version of you is real. That version of you is coming. And everything you are walking through right now, every hard day, every sleepless night, every moment of wrestling and questioning and barely holding on, is building that version of you. One day at a time, one choice at a time. One decision to stay when everything said leave. One decision to believe when everything said give up. You are being built into something the world needs, something specific people are waiting for. People whose names you do not even know yet. People who are going to encounter you in your next season and have their lives permanently changed because you did not quit in this one. Hold on. Stay in it. You are closer than you know. Type, "I am being built" in the comments right now. Speak it over yourself, because it is true. Now I want to release a final decree over your life before this video ends. Receive it. In the name that is above every name, I decree Every chain of doubt holding you in place is broken right now. Every lie that told you it was too late is cancelled. Every word spoken over you that did not come from God, by people, by your circumstances, by the voice in your own head at 3 in the morning, I declare it null and void over your life starting today. What God said about you before you were born still stands. It has always stood. I decree open doors. I decree divine connections. I decree resources moving toward you that have no natural explanation. I decree that the prayers you prayed that felt like they went nowhere are about to be answered in ways that take your breath away. You came into this video one way. You are not leaving the same way. Something shifted. Something broke open. Receive it. Walk in it. Type, "It is done," in the comments right now. Seal it. Declare it. Receive it as finished. Before you go, 3 things. Do them now, not later. First, subscribe to this channel right now. Every week there is a word here made specifically for chosen ones like you. You did not find this channel by accident. Hit subscribe. Hit the bell. Never miss what was sent for you. Second, share this video with one person right now. You already know who came to mind. That is not coincidence. That is an assignment. Send it before you close the app. Be the reason someone else's faith gets restored today. Third, drop your testimony in the comments. Tell me what God brought you through. Tell me what shifted in you during this video. Because your words tonight are going to be the reason somebody else does not quit. Your story is somebody else's lifeline. Use it. This is Chosen Ultimate. And if nobody has told you this today, you are seen. You are known. You are loved beyond anything you can currently measure. You are not too broken. You are not too late. You are not too far gone. You are exactly who God said you were before the world got any say in the matter. The best of your story has not been written yet. The chapters ahead of you are going to make every hard chapter behind you make complete sense. Stay. Keep going. Keep believing. Keep declaring. I will see you in the next video.